Gary Ticehurst and John Bean also made their mark on the news industry. As the ABC's chief chopper pilot for more than 2 decades, Gary Ticehurst not only covered the action, at times he found himself part of it. John Bean was the man behind the lens, who was lauded for his versatility and his likeability. Rebecca Barrett reports.
He was the cameraman that everyone wanted to work with. Calm under pressure, John Bean was a mentor to many.
John was an extremely talented and versatile cameraman who could shoot anything and shoot anything really well, from news to documentaries. And he could even shoot stills, so he was a consummate professional.
John Bean won numerous awards for his work, including This Australian Story in 2003.
It was John's ability to win the trust of people in terrible situation, win them over, get their confidence and bring an achingly beautiful story to our screens.
Born and raised in Rockhampton, his skills took him throughout Australia and around the world, and now he was at the top of his game. For his wife, Landline reporter Pip Courtney, he was the most wonderful husband a girl could wish for. I fell in love with him on the road and adored working with him.
Everyone will talk about how great John was as a cameraman, but I think what many people will always remember was that he was a great, great man with a great, great soul, and he made you feel happy.
John Bean captured the beauty of Lake Eyre for the ABC's documentary filmed last year. This trip was for another one, and it was one he was looking forward to.
Just before he left, he and I were in the crew room talking nerdy cameraman stuff together about how he was going to approach this. Now this, with 2 other wonderful ABC people as well.
Gary Ticehurst was the ABC's chief chopper pilot for more than 2 decades. He was right in the middle of big news stories, often directing the action.
Even a lot of cameramen are very, very happy. Gary puts them in the right place at the right time. They just have to pull the trigger and make fine adjustments.
The ABC helicopter was the first to fly into flood-stricken Grantham in January.
The houses were a tangled mess, and it was described locally on the radio during that day and later of an inland tsunami. Well, that's exactly what it looked like from the air.
From floods to bushfires, Gary Ticehurst was an integral part of the news-gathering process. A veteran of 29 Sydney to Hobart yacht races, he was part of the rescue effort during the catastrophic 1998 race.
Mayday, 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 here is Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill, ABC chopper. Go ahead with your position, over.
6 sailors died, but many lives were saved thanks to Gary Ticehurst.
He directed the rescue choppers over to the boats and was standing by and calling the waves as these huge waves were rolling through.
He saw things no one else could. He spotted 2 missing bushwalkers south of Sydney, and he was critical to finding the bodies of 4 lost snowboarders.
Gary was the quintessential aviator. He was always able to fly with the enthusiasm of a child, the wisdom of an elder, and the eyes of a hawk.
From news gathering to filmmaking, he flew missions for Mission Impossible 2 and The Matrix, landing in the heart of Sydney. A larger-than-life character, he also had a big heart for charity work with goodwill flights. For Gary Ticehurst, flying for the ABC was the best gig in the world. Rebecca Barrett, Lateline.